When I was a child, the ancestral home of my family always felt like more than just a house. It was an ancient mansion built more than 120 years ago by my great-great-grandfather, standing proudly at the edge of our hometown, silent yet intimidating, like it held stories within its walls that time itself had forgotten. Every holiday, every major family event happened there. Weddings, funerals, reunions. The house witnessed it all. But no one ever talked about its deeper history. Whenever I would ask questions like, who built the hidden rooms? Or, why does the attic stay locked? My parents would just give vague smiles and say, some things are better left alone. But curiosity is a powerful thing, and mine only grew with age. I didn't know it then, but the truth that this house held would change everything I believed about my family, and about myself. It all started the summer I turned 25. My grandfather had passed away a few months earlier, leaving behind not just grief, but also responsibility. He named me, the youngest in the family, the official caretaker of the ancestral home. Everyone was shocked, including me. My father and two uncles expected the title to go to one of them. After all, they were older, more experienced, and had always taken care of family matters. But the will was clear. The house belonged to me. My father tried to hide his frustration, but I could see the anger burning in his eyes. My uncles accused my grandfather of favoritism. And me? I was just confused. Why would he choose me? My relationship with him was good, sure, but we weren't particularly close. He was always this mysterious figure, gentle, wise, but distant. When I asked my grandmother if she knew the reason behind his decision, she just sighed and whispered, "You will understand soon." Soon came quicker than I expected. The day after the will was read, I went to the house alone. I walked through the enormous carved wooden doors and stepped into the grand hallway, where portraits of our ancestors lined the walls. Their eyes seemed to follow me, as if silently observing every move I made. Cobwebs hung in corners, untouched since my grandfather fell ill. The smell of old wood and dust carried a strange comfort, like nostalgia and eeriness woven together. I explored the rooms one by one. The library with its endless rows of classic books, the dining room with its long table still set for 12, and the old music room where my grandfather used to play the violin. Nothing seemed unusual, until I reached his bedroom. There, hidden under his bed, I found a locked wooden box. It wasn't big, but it was heavy, carved with a symbol I didn't recognize. A circular emblem surrounding two birds facing opposite directions. The moment I saw it, my heart skipped. Instinct told me this was important. I searched the entire room for a key but found nothing. 100 questions swirled in my mind. Why did he hide it? Why leave it locked? Why leave it for me? I tried asking my family about the symbol, but everyone reacted the same way. Fear, not confusion. Fear. My father's face went pale when he saw the carving. "Throw that away," he snapped, refusing to look at it again. My uncles warned me not to open it, claiming that some history should remain buried. Their reactions only fueled my determination. Whatever was inside, my grandfather clearly wanted me to find it. 2 days later, I returned to the house, determined to uncover the secret. I searched again and eventually found a small brass key taped under the drawer of his bedside table. My hands trembled as I held it. The moment felt monumental. I inserted the key into the box's lock. It clicked open with surprising ease. Inside, there were 3 items: an old family photograph, a leather-bound journal, and a small rusted key. The photograph showed my grandfather as a young man standing in front of the ancestral home. But the house looked different. It was bigger, with an extra section on the left side that did not exist anymore. My grandfather had his arm around a man whose face was scratched out with black pen. On the back of the photo was a handwritten note. "Forgive me." My blood ran cold. The journal, filled with my grandfather's neat handwriting, began with a sentence that would haunt me for days. "The secret I have protected for decades must now be yours." As I read further, the truth unfolded like a dark and twisting story. I learned that the scratched-out man was my grandfather's older brother, my great-uncle, a man no one ever spoke of because he was erased from our family history. They once built a business together, a massive enterprise that helped the entire town prosper. But something went wrong. Very wrong. My great-uncle betrayed the family, sold land illegally, and almost destroyed their legacy. Instead of turning him in to the authorities, my great-great-grandfather did something unimaginable. He locked his own son in a basement room beneath the house. The missing section from the photograph? It was demolished later to erase evidence of his imprisonment. The journal said my great-uncle lived down there for years, losing his sanity, plotting revenge. When he finally escaped, he vanished into the night. But not before swearing he would return and tear the family apart. That rusted key inside the box? It belonged to the hidden basement room. My hands were shaking as I continued reading. My grandfather wrote that he discovered the truth only when he was a teenager. His father made him swear to keep the secret forever, to protect the family's reputation. But my grandfather believed that the real crime wasn't the betrayal. It was what his own father had done to his brother. The guilt consumed him until his final days. He wrote that the locked rooms still existed beneath the house, untouched, filled with the past they tried to erase. My curiosity had now turned into dread, but I had to see it. The journal gave directions to the hidden entrance, behind a bookshelf in the library. I rushed there, pushing aside dusty encyclopedias until my hand hit something metallic. I pressed it, and the shelf slowly slid open, revealing a stone staircase leading underground. A musty smell of decay and old secrets filled my lungs. My flashlight flickered as I stepped into the dark passage. Each step felt like I was walking deeper into forbidden history. At the bottom, there was a heavy metal door. The key fit perfectly. I opened it. Inside was a small room, the walls covered in claw marks and desperate scribbles. A rotting bed sat in the corner, with chains still attached to the frame. On the opposite wall were hundreds of carvings of the same bird symbol from the box. My skin crawled. This wasn't just imprisonment. It was torture. A faint metallic scent lingered in the air like old blood. But the worst part was the message carved furiously into the wall. Family destroys its own. I ran out of the room and back up the stairs, my breath heavy, my mind spinning. When I returned home that night, sleep refused to come. I kept thinking about that man, my great-uncle, the forgotten soul buried alive in the name of honor. What happened after he escaped? Was he still out there? Then I thought, what if he started a new family? What if that family was closer than we thought? My grandfather hinted in his journal that he spent years searching for him, or at least some trace of his existence, but every lead went cold. He wrote something chilling near the end. He knew we erased him. He knew we wanted to pretend he never existed, but he will return when the time is right. Was my grandfather afraid? Is that why he chose me? Someone unburdened by the past? Someone capable of making things right? The next morning, I confronted my father. I told him everything. He stared at me with eyes full of hurt and panic. "You should have left the box alone," he whispered. That's when he confessed that he had known for years. He and my uncles weren't angry about the house. They were terrified. They always feared the truth would come out and ruin everything they built their lives on. Their silence wasn't protection. It was self-preservation. They wanted the secret buried forever, even if it meant betrayal of our own blood. That day, I realized something. There were no heroes in this story. Just generations of fear and mistakes. I spent weeks thinking about what to do. Should I expose this truth and destroy my family's reputation? Or should I guard the secret like the men before me and allow history to stay hidden? Neither felt right. So I made a third choice. I decided to restore the hidden part of the house, not to imprison, but to honor the man they tried to erase. I contacted historians and lawyers, uncovering proof of everything in the journal. Instead of hiding the truth, I prepared to reveal a historical exhibition, a memorial to a forgotten brother who paid the price for betrayal far greater than his crime deserved. Some of my relatives were furious, calling me a traitor. But others, including my grandmother, thanked me with tears in her eyes. "Your grandfather always wanted forgiveness," she whispered. The restoration began, and while organizing old archives from the town, something unexpected happened. A man in his 70s approached me. He looked at me as if he already knew me. Then he said 4 words that sent chills through my spine. I knew your grandfather. He rolled up his sleeve, revealing a tattoo. The same bird symbol from the box. My heart raced. Who are you? I stuttered. His voice trembled as he replied. I am his son, the son of the brother your family imprisoned. He explained that his father escaped but died shortly after, leaving behind only stories of a home that tried to bury the truth with him. The man smiled sadly and placed a hand on my shoulder. Thank you for bringing him back, he whispered. From that moment, I understood my purpose. The ancestral home wasn't just a symbol of pride. It was a reminder of the cost of silence. My grandfather didn't choose me to guard the house. He chose me to finally open its doors. My family's unwritten chapter is now written. Not in shame, but in truth. The town now knows the real history, the darkness and the redemption. And I finally know who I am. I am not the keeper of secrets. I am the one who set them free.